Right. Good evening, everyone. We would like to welcome you all to Bahrain Jazz Fest International Jazz Day's first online event. Swing makes you swing. Swing makes you sing. Oh, that's quite a tongue twister. Our festival is now in our fifth successful year, and today's event marks the first of our online activities for the celebration of International Jazz Day. Um, for those who may not know, the International Jazz Day is designated on April 30th by UNESCO and is intended to create global awareness, appreciation, and conversation about jazz music, and highlight its highlight its diplomatic role of uniting people across borders. Jazz enthusiasts on this day celebrate and engage in intercultural dialogue, appreciate the roots of this form of music, and discuss and deliberate on how to strengthen its future. Each year on April 30th, this international art form is recognized for promoting peace, dialogue among cultures, diversity and respect for human rights and human dignity, eradicating discrimination, promoting freedom of expression, fostering gender equality, and reinforcing the role of youth in enacting social change. Much like how we are doing today with our friends from the United States. Today's International Jazz Day program is presented by BNP Paribas and is in association with the U.S. Embassy Bahrain, Bahrain Alumni Club, and it's produced by Clockwork Bahrain. So it's with great delight I would like to introduce our two panelists for today. Svetlana is a New York-based acclaimed chart-topping vocalist, composer, bandleader, educator, and a Manhattan School of Music MA and a Columbia PhD graduate. She is a recipient of a grant from Jazz Road South Arts funded by the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation with additional support from Andrew Mellon Foundation. She is a finalist of the Paul Cast 2019 Discovery Act competition, finalist of the American Music Abroad program, and an alternate of the 2019 and 20 American Traditions vocal competitions. Svetlana's sounds blend swing, straight-ahead jazz, and original material, forging deep connections with audiences with her strong vocals, charismatic performance style, exciting improvisational aspects of performance, and engaging storytelling. Svetlana has performed professionally since 2011 after reaching success as a management consultant and associate professor at Columbia University, and has toured with her various bands nationally and internationally since 2017, headlining hundreds of sold-out shows in the US and abroad. Svetlana and her band have headlined sold-out shows in renowned jazz clubs, performing art centers in the US like Blue Note, the Blue Note Festival, Regatta Bar Jazz Standard, the famous DC Jazz Festival, and some internationally known festivals too, like the Tel Aviv Blues Festival, Jerusalem Globus Festival, Italian Rovigo Jazz Festival, India's Total Environment Foundation, Canada's Jazz Bistro, and so on and so forth. She's been entertaining crowds right from intimate house concerts to 1,500 people, strong outdoor series in Brooklyn, New York, delivering great sounding, great looking, highly entertaining, unique, tight show. My other panelist is Willerm Delisfort. He's a pianist and composer and is a messenger of life using music as his tool. His career extends the continuum of musical styles ranging from jazz, gospel, R&B, and more. Willem's versatility has created a high demand for him with prominent jazz, rap, soul, fusion artists, including 2009 Best World Guitarist Farid Haq, Grammy Award-winning artist T-Pain, Lauryn Hill, Kirk Whalum, Louis Bellison, Lou Soloff, Corey Works, and so on and so forth. He has performed over 20 festivals around the globe, branching from the US West Coast all the way to Europe, headlining shows such as Dreamgirls, Ain't Misbehaving, Crowns, Ida, The Best of Broadway, and Don't Bother Me. Willerm has been featured on 7 albums on piano, along with several commercial recordings broadcast all over the world. His most recent, the critically acclaimed Flat Planet by virtuosity guitarist Farid Haq, is now available on Owl Studio Records. Willerm founded the group The Delisfort Project, which later began to perform all over the country, including European tour with the Ladies of Jazz. The 2006-09 recipient of the Northern Illinois University Liberace Scholarship, Willerm spent 3 years studying with the legendary Willie Pickens, who challenged matured Willerm to love and submit to the music. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you. Today's special show is filled with swing jazz, tap dancing lessons, Lindy Hop dance lessons, and a beautiful show performed by Svetlana, Will, and their band. We encourage you to interact with Svetlana and Will with your questions during the Q&A sessions. Drop your questions in the chat box to Svetlana and Will, and they will answer them in the Q&A sessions. Get on your dancing shoes. We hope you all enjoy the show. Take it away, Svetlana and Will.
All right, everyone. How we doing? I am Willerm Delisfort, and right above me, I believe, could be below me, is Svetlana, the amazing Svetlana. So, thank you all so much for joining us this evening for this beautiful presentation on the beautiful art form of jazz. So, today we're going to learn some things about the three elements of jazz, and if you listen hard enough, you will be able to find them in our everyday life. All right. So, wow. These three elements are known as blues, swing, and improvisation. The blues is his or her story. That story can be a sad story, it can be a happy story, it could be a combination of both. It started off really happy, then it ended really sad. It's kind of like an emotional roller coaster watching a movie. All right. So the next element is swing. Swing is the groove that makes you move. The motion in the potion, the pep in your step. It's typically the musical groove you hear in the rhythm section, piano, bass, and drums. Last but not least is improvisation. Improvisation is the freedom to unequivocally express yourself however way you want to. That last part, improvisation, is how a lot of free-spirited thinkers find their individual voice. And hopefully by the end of today, we'll find each and every one of us will find our own individual voice. Okay? Now, with all these three elements combined in music, you are given a chance to express yourself with your feelings on a groove that makes you move, with the freedom to do so however way that you want to. Jazz is a musical style created by African Americans in the late 1800s while in New Orleans. Of course, it's hard to pinpoint an exact day that jazz was created, but know that it was created over time, and it was a meeting of mixing and melding of many cultures, many emotions, and many skills in New Orleans put together, eventually what brings us today, what we have jazz. Like everything else that evolves in life, so did the art form and all the artists along with it. During the days of slavery in 1724, there was a space in New Orleans where on Sunday, like today, the slave masters would allow the slaves to get together and just be free in a more confined space, a space where they could express themselves and they were allowed to without being in trouble. This space was later known as Congo Square. Now, the birth of Congo Square made New Orleans a culture hub where many other musicians and dancers would all come and call it home. It's also the birthplace to many many other legends of this art form, such as the ragtime man himself, Jelly Roll Morton, the ambassador of jazz, Louis Armstrong, or the educator of jazz, Alvin Baptiste. Hey, and many, many more. With dance being infused in the culture, when the music evolved, so did its dancers. Because of this sense of community back during the 1700s, New Orleans till this day New Orleans still congregate together in celebration, whether it's because it's an arrival of life, whether it's because it's the departure of life. Every and any moment they can get together in fellowship life, they will pull out their instruments and sing and dance in celebration. Not only is this the birthplace of the music, it's the birthplace and the resident of the spirit of jazz. It's almost impossible to visit New Orleans and not find music and dance intertwined like two best friends who've known each other all their lives. So now, there's no way we can continue talking about New Orleans without learning a little bit more about the drumming, Congo Square, the second line, all that goodness that comes with it. All right. And also learning about the spirit of New Orleans. To learn more, here's our resident drum professor, Mr. Curtis Noasad, to teach us more about the sound of New Orleans.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Curtis, and what you just heard is called the New Orleans Second Line. I want to talk to you about a very special city, the birthplace of jazz, New Orleans. Now, that groove is called the second line because at funerals in New Orleans, on the first line they play very slow, sad songs like this one. On the second line, they sing happy songs and celebrate. Songs like When the Saints Go Marching In. Do we know that song? Let's sing it together. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. All right, very good. Now, they don't just play this music at funerals, they play it for all kinds of special occasions. At any reason to have a party, you're going to hear a second line. And the biggest party of the year is called Mardi Gras. Can we say Mardi Gras? Mardi Gras. Now, has anyone here seen a marching band? Now, a marching band has got many different instruments in it. You have trumpets, trombones, tuba, clarinet, and you've got the drums. Now, if you look, I'm sitting down right now. I couldn't possibly march if I wanted to, but in a marching band, they have one person play the bass drum out in front of them like this, and one person play the snare drum in front of them like this. And together, they do what I'm doing on the drum set. So, originally marches were very simple. They just went like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But because of the influence of African culture in New Orleans, they added what's known as the Big Four. Can we say the Big Four? The Big Four. So, what that means is we put an accent, which means we play it louder on beat 4 in every other measure. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we're going to do together is we're going to clap on the Big Four. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. So I'm going to play the second line, and I'll help you. I'll play a big accent on the Big Four to help you out. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's the New Orleans second line.
All right. All right. So that was amazing. So now we are familiar with the Big Four and New Orleans second line. In the spirit of jazz and New Orleans celebration of life, here is the Svetlana New York Jazz Collective, featuring Alfonso Horn performing a popular folk song entitled Little Liza Jane.
Okay, here we go. Little Liza Jane, take one. Two, 1, 2, I know a girl that I adore. Liza Jane, way down in Baltimore. I got a woman that ain't got nothing. Liza Jane, way down south in Baltimore. Oh, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. Oh, little Liza Jane. Oh, little I know a girl that I adore. Way down in South Baltimore. I know a girl I adore. Way south down in Baltimore. Oh, little Liza Jane. La 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 la. Oh, little Liza.
Little Liza Jane. Hey, that made me feel good. I hope you all are at home or wherever you are right now. You're up and dancing because I was, and I might have hurt my back, but it was a great experience. All right. So let's continue. Now, while the spirit of jazz was being nurtured in New Orleans and other regions of the South, the blues was being formed. So now, the spirit of the music was able to find words to express its emotion that was born in New Orleans. These emotions were created from the hardship, hope, struggle, faith, life, and death of the descendants of those slaves that came in from many parts of America. We are talking about years of storytelling from the very first slave and their drums in the drum circle at Congo Square, to the storytelling through dancing, to eventually the storytelling through songs from the voice. The blues, the birth of the blues was a byproduct of work songs, field hollers, shouts, chants, hymns, and more. When the slaves were outside picking cotton, living a hard life, they would sing their pain to each other, sing their stories about their day, sing their stories about their God, asking for help, singing their stories to each other to give each other's encouragement to help them make it through their day. Imagine having a body filled with emotions, and then a century later, finding the words to express those emotions. As musicians continue to progress and change the way they play their instruments, so did the blues. They brought structure to it, forms, bridges, choruses, and more, all followed by an amazing story that went along with it. Like, for example, musicians like Bessie Smith, born April 15th, birthday is coming up, 1894, was an American blues singer widely renowned during the jazz age, nicknamed the Empress of the Blues. Hey, man, you got to imagine how amazing you must be to be called the Empress of the Blues. Now, she was the most popular female blues singer of the 1920s and 1930s. She's often regarded as one of the greatest singers of her era and was a major influence on fellow blues singers as well as jazz vocalists that would later come. Then you have musicians like Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Oh man, the mother of rock and roll, who was also one of the most talented guitar players. She took the blues along with her story and crafted an early form of what we know now as rock and roll. Wow. So by the 1920s, the beauty of life is that we all have our own unique story to tell, right? Simply for the fact that we all are different. I want you all to think of a story that you have right now that you put into words as we listen to this next selection of Svetlana and the New York Jazz Collective. All right. So we all have our own story. I want you to think of what that story may be. It may be of how you woke up today. It may be how, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to such and such. Or what I ate for dinner. We all have our own stories, or how I grew up, or the love of my parents, the love of my kids. I want you to think of this, your story, as we listen to this band play their story. This next one is a popular composition by Duke Ellington entitled, I'm Just a Lucky So and So.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. When I walk down the street, seems everyone I meet waves me a friendly hello. Hello, guys. I guess I'm lucky so and so. Those birds on every tree, they seem so gingerly. They sing wherever I go. I guess I'm just a lucky so and so. the day's through, each night I hurry to home where I wait. I know. Oh, I guess I'm just a lucky so and so. Account, I have to admit I'm flipping, but that don't worry me, 'cause confidentially I got my dreams, and my dreams are pippin'. So when the day is through, each night I hurry to home where I wait. I know. Oh, I guess I am. I'm just a lucky so and so. I guess. I'm just a lucky so and so.
All right. I am just a lucky so and so. All right. So now, when I'm listening to that song, I'm thinking about all the blues that I had. You might have recognized the person on piano. That was totally might have been me. Had less hair. Um, but when I'm listening to the blues and I'm playing the blues, I'm thinking about, okay, man, what's the story that I want to say? Am I feeling good? Because blues doesn't always have to be sad. And that's the first thing that we always think. What about the blues? Oh, it's a sad song. But my blues today can be like, you know what? It is Easter Sunday and I woke up today. My kids jumped on my face and said, "Hello, Daddy." And that was my blues. That was happy. That's my happy story. Or, oh man, I only got 2 hours of sleep. Oh, this is my blues. It doesn't matter what it may be. It's as long as it's yours, which makes it unique. So now let's continue. By the 1920s, a whole new kind of music had evolved, right? So now in the era of jazz, we call swing music, where big bands such as Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Cab Calloway, uh, Benny Goodman, and such were the main attractions, and dancers from everywhere were lined around the clubs so they could be a part of it. Said, man, that's Duke Ellington. That's Count Basie. Cab Calloway is playing. I gotta go and dance. It was a beautiful thing. So the elements of jazz now introduces another element, which is swing. Now, swing introduces the groove that makes you move, the motion and the potion, the pep in your step. Huh? Come on. I wish you could see my feet right now. They're doing some great dancing moves. All right. So now, this brought all of these beautiful elements to the style of music we call jazz. Swing was the groove that you hear the band play. It was all about what's your swing that you're going to play. Are you going to play this? Are you going to play that? But that motion that the rhythm section is playing is we call swing. It's a very important element in our three elements. Now, the story and the spirit of dance has been with us from the very moment it got off the boats and arrived in New Orleans. The spirit has always been a huge part of the culture of jazz, going back from Congo Square to jazz at Lincoln Center. While the musicians and their music were evolving, so were the incredible dancers of their time. The beauty of swing music just naturally makes you want to get up and dance. When I hear Shiny Stalkers, do dot, do dit, dot, see that? You just naturally want to dance. And that's the beauty of it. And because of this, a new form of dancing was formed. And this form of dancing was called Lindy Hop. Lindy Hop, also known as the jitterbug, was developed in the 1920s and said to be the original form of swing dance. The term jitterbug was commonly used to describe swing dancers because of the way they looked when they were on the dance floor. Just the bugs, they're jitterbugs with their feet moving fast and bouncing around, jumping around, being flipped up in the air, as you can see on screen. Lindy Hop, which is an 8-count dance characterized by a lot of physical movement and a tap on the shoe, continued to evolve in the 1930s with the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem becoming its home, and more professional dance troupes formed around it. So now, to speak more on the history of Lindy Hop and teach us a dance move or two, because we got to learn some dance moves, we got to. I would like to share a quick dance lesson with you all by our resident dance instructor, Miss Akimi. That being said, if you want to get up and experience the true experience of Lindy's Hopper's Delight, be sure to stand up and join us on this next one, okay?
Everybody, this is Akemi, your dance teacher. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be dancing to swinging jazz music. Have you seen swing dancing? It was created by Black American communities in the late 1920s and in the early 1930s. The original name was Lindy Hop. Can you say Lindy Hop?
Lindy Hop.
The mecca of Lindy Hop was this beautiful, gigantic ballroom in Harlem called the Savoy Ballroom. The famous dancers like Frankie Manning and Norma Miller danced and performed at the Savoy. I am very excited and grateful to get to share this dance with you today. Let's get started. Move number 1, Charleston. Now we're going to face this direction. Now we are going to kick forward with your right. Show me a kick with your right foot and a step down. Then can you reach backwards with your left? Reach and step. Good. We're going to kick forward and step, reach and step. Kick forward and step, reach and step. Do you notice that I bow a little bit when I reach back? We can go even lower and then reach backwards. Now can you touch the ground? Try it, try it, try it, try it. Touch down. Good. And then step back. Now that can be a variation of the Charleston. So let's do that a couple of times together. Ready? We kick forward and step, reach down and then step. Kick forward and step and reach and step. Here we go. Charleston. Kick step. 1 and 2 and 3 and turn. Kick, cross, turn around. Charleston. Kick step. 1 and 2 and 3 and turn. Same thing again. Charleston. Again. Kick step. 1 and 2 and 3 and turn. Kick, cross, turn around.
And step. Okay. All right. I was trying to get the dance move and quickly get back to my seat. All right. So now, what have we learned? Gone over so far? We've addressed the spirit of the music from its very conception when it arrived to New Orleans. That spirit finding its voice, now known as the blues, through struggle, hardship, faith, and hope to tell its story. Then the story finds its groove, which we know now as swing. And alongside of it, throughout history, has been its spirit, its counter spirit, which is dance. These two have developed and adapted to each other since the very beginning to give us the entertainment that we have now. So now, our to put all that together, the dance move, the jumping, the Lindy Hop, we want to see if we can get our band to come and play a next song for us, which I believe is a Duke Ellington composition entitled "It Don't Mean a Thing." And let's check out some of our dancers and how they go about performing with the band. So if you've learned the dance routine, I want everyone to get up and join the band on this next one. Here we go.
It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just make this rhythm everything you got. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. And it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just make this rhythm everything you got. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. And it makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just make this rhythm everything you got. It don't mean a thing, all you got to do is sing. Do up, 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 do up. Do up, 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 do up. Do up, 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 do up.
Yes, yes. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. And we've been talking about how swing is that the groove that makes you move, the motion and the potion, the pep in your step. So it doesn't mean a thing if it doesn't have that groove. It doesn't have that motion. It doesn't have that pep. The beauty of swing. So now we're on our final element of jazz. Last but not least, this is improvisation. Improvisation is simply the freedom to unequivocally express yourself however way you want to. Think about that. However way you want to express yourself, say what you need to say, play what you need to play. You can do that. That's what improvisation allows you. Improvisation in the performing arts is a very spontaneous performance without specific or scripted preparation. This is something that we all do every day in life. When we get up, when we decide on what to do, and in so many ways, the way you improvise when you try and accomplish something. I'm going to get up and go to the store. However way did I do that, I'm improvising. I don't have a scripted plan to say, I am going to get up and put my shoes on, then put my shirt on twice, and then put my book bag on and then go outside. I'm making it up as I go along. I'm figuring it out. So every day in life, we improvise and we find different ways to accomplish that. Now, throughout the history of music now, we've had amazing improvisers who've actually changed the way the music, the face of the music and the language have gone about, if you want to think about it. For example, you got Charlie Parker, right? With his lean, edgy tone, fast, furious notes, very, very similar to a fast talker. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm okay. How you doing? Yes, I want to do this and no, blah, 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 blah. I got a lot of friends that are like that. Some of my friends say that I'm like that. Okay. Now you got Miles Davis with his simplistic, cool bop approach, similar to a smooth, slow talker who's really cool. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, pull my cool bop on that. That's my Miles Davis. Now, or you can have an Art Tatum and his stride, multi-hand fingers approach, similar to a multitasker, which Svetlana and I were saying, similar to like all the moms that we know. Because your mom is telling you not to do this while cooking this, and then taking this kid and like, don't do this and do this, and then she did this, and then she created a rocket ship. I don't know. God bless all mothers. All right. So now you have Louis Armstrong, who is like in his scat approach, which is very similar to a vocal and animated talker. Hey, how are you doing today? I am so happy to see you. Ooh, I like that. Now, we also have modern day musicians like Robert Glasper and his fusion of jazz and hip hop and jazz and R&B, jazz and gospel. Similar to a popular influencer that you find. Someone who does something and everyone wants to just naturally follow them. All right? With the spirit of jazz, you can find anything in your immediate surroundings. I want everybody to find something in their immediate surroundings right now. And I'm going to find, okay. All right, this is what I got. Okay, all right. I'm going to improvise using this. All right, I have my object, which is my subject. All right. I have my blues, which is my story. I have my swing, which is my groove. And I'm gonna keep this groove going on. I'm gonna keep this groove. I like this groove. All right. And my improvisation will be my approach, which I'm gonna go with cool bop, because who doesn't want to be Miles Davis? Really? All right. So, okay. I love my teddy bear Willis. Willis is my teddy bear because he's the coolest. All right. I'm hearing all the applause just all around the world. Like, oh my God, that was the greatest. All right. So that was my poor attempt of my improvisation with my teddy bear Willis. Well, I think it's a polar bear. Okay. So that being said, even in dance in the 1940s, when the music grew from swing dance to Charlie Parker's bebop, which is a fast tempo, complex, rhythmic approach, tap dancers like Baby Lawrence Jackson were lockstep along with them. Baby Lawrence, an extraordinary jazz tap dancer who had a profound influence on dancers, performed with some of the history's greatest bebop kings, such as Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Bud Powell. Baby Lawrence is regarded as an authentic jazz dancer who further developed the art of tap dancing by treating the body as a percussive instrument. With Baby Lawrence's approach to bebop and improvisation, finally, he was able to fuse the two spirits of jazz, which is music and dance, and made them whole. That's an amazing thing. So, like before, at this time, I would like to provide you a quick tap dance lesson to get a better understanding. For those who've never tap danced, who've never tried it, this is the perfect time to try it. We're going to learn a simple step, and so that you can see how tap dancing or moving your feet that way connects with your body, the physical and the percussive nature of the art form. That being said, let's go ahead and pass it on to our instructor, DeWitt Fleming Jr.
Hey everyone, my name is DeWitt Fleming Jr. and I'm a tap dancer. Today we're going to talk about improv. Improv is short for improvisation. Improvisation is where you make it up as you're doing it. One of my favorite dancers who was a great improv dancer was Baby Lawrence. Baby Lawrence was called the bebop tap dancer, as in bebop jazz. Bebop jazz was huge for improvisation, and so was Baby Lawrence. I'm going to show you 2 steps to take an improv on your own. It's called step, step, stomp, stomp. It's very simple. You step and step, and then you stomp, stomp. Now when you step, think of if you were in a quiet room and you wanted to tiptoe around. Step, 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 step. Now when you stomp, you want to put your whole foot on the ground, maybe like you might be upset with someone. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Now, I'm going to improv, and then I want you to improv. So I'm going to take step, step, stomp, stomp, and I'm going to mix it up and do it in any order and any rhythm that I hear in my head. Here we go. That's improvising. I just improvised on step, step, stomp, stomp. Now I want you to try. Think of a rhythm in your head and use step, step, stomp, stomp, and do that rhythm. Ready? Try. Good. And that's improv. You just made it up right now on the spot. So from now on, whenever you hear some music, why don't you improvise? Try using step, step, stomp, stomp, or whatever step you want. This is DeWitt Fleming Jr. I'm a tap dancer, and I'll see you next time.
All right, and get the stomp. Okay. All right. I hope you all took advantage of that lesson and you were able to learn how to do step, step, stomp, stomp. I've been practicing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, I would like for everyone, if the spirit moves you, to get up and join the band on this next one. It's a Gershwin composition entitled "I've Got Rhythm."
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. The thought about moving my ankles that much, I was like, okay, this is fast. All right. So that was the Svetlana New York Jazz Collective. That was Duet Flemings Jr. on tap dancing. Now, just to wrap it up before we open it up for Q&As, um, just want to say this last thing. Now, what I love the most about improvisation is simply the idea that after learning everything that we worked on, that we discussed this past hour, such as emotions, feelings, groove, dance, you can shuffle every single one of those around in any combination you want, any speed, any volume, any level of aggression, or whatnot, and make your own unique thought statement idea. Think about that. So we put all that together. Now I could put it all together. You could put it all together, but however way that you put it will be different than mine, and that makes you unique. The other side of it, we could actually say the same thing, which is I love jazz, or I love teddy bear, my teddy bear Willis. Uh, my teddy bear Willis, because he's the greatest. I can't remember. Nonetheless, you could recite the same thing that I recited, the same way that I recited, and it still will be unique to you because of who you are, the way you speak, your voice, everything that makes you unique. Therefore, you can only be yourself, and that's the beauty in that. All right. Now, also because of this uniqueness and the importance of it, it tends to make it to utilize our voice in the most positive way. So, since my voice is unique, I have to be sure that whenever I say something or I'm going to improvise or get on the bandstand, that I make sure that it's something that's very unique and that's very thought of before I just simply say it. Like everything else in life that we deal with, improvisation. So, what do we have? Blues, swing, improvisation are all the elements of jazz. The spirit of New Orleans, the spirit of jazz was started in New Orleans, from the first slaves and their drumming in Congo Square to what we have now at Jazz in Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall and everywhere else. So this is Swing Makes You Sing. Also from the Svetlana, New York Jazz Collective, we also want to say thank you for having us. Let's open it up for some Q&As. Any questions?
Hey, well, I think someone was dropped their coffee while listening to the music and dancing. I think so. It was quite an impact.
Well, that's, hey, I'll take that. I think it's an honor if we helped spill some coffee, and I hope you didn't burn yourself, but I am happy you experienced the happiness of the coffee being spilled.
Yeah, I mean, we have a nice comment on the chat which says we could be in one room and not speak the same language, but yet still have a conversation through music. And I guess that's so true, even in the kind of project that we're doing with you guys right now, huh?
Yes, yes. I've actually experienced that once. I was performing in the Lima Jazz Festival, which is really more of an international jazz festival in Lima, Peru. And the whole rhythm section, the bass player, the drummer, and the piano player, myself being the pianist, you had the horn players there. We all looked at each other and we tried to communicate one thing, which is, what song do you want to play? I asked the drummer, who was, I believe he was from Italy. He did not speak English, and the bassist did not speak English. And we sat there, we looked at each other like, well, how are we going to accomplish this? Like, we don't speak the same language. Then one guy, the saxophone player, got up, he pulled out his saxophone, he started playing the blues. Everyone immediately heard what he was playing, the key he was playing it, and jumped in and started playing. We all looked at each other and laughed. It was just like, wow, we don't really need to speak the same language in order to, speak this language. So, yes, that is so very true.
That's great. I mean, there's another question. I think a lot of people right now are quite interested in, the New York Jazz Collective that's featuring you and Svetlana. So, what are the upcoming shows? One of the viewers wanted to know, like, if they want to follow your shows, that's number one. Where can they do that? And secondly, what's coming up? Are you guys doing any online shows? Are you doing any streams coming up after this?
gonna pass that on to the queen herself, Miss Svetlana. Go ahead.
I am a queen since I'm wearing that wonderful crown. But we're actually so excited. We're going on tour to Florida just in 4 weeks. Some of the shows will be live streamed. People can find out information on my website, which is svetlanajazz.com. I also encourage everyone to follow me on Instagram, where all the information up to date as far as new music releases, where to stream shows is always posted. That is Svetlana Jazz. We do have new music. We have a new vinyl record. Very exciting. Yay. It's here. And anything you would ever want to find out as far as things that are very up to date, Instagram is probably the best way. Again, it's Svetlana Jazz. We're very excited to go on the road again, though. Willerm is very happy. He's from Florida. So, and I just love going to Florida because it's so humid. My hair becomes even bigger. So that's always exciting.
Mine as well. Mine as well.
Yes.
Well, I guess it was a nice session. I'm sure that a lot of people took many takeaways from it, and it's interesting to see the history of jazz in a different way. We normally watch these full-length documentaries, but this is like completely different, and it's a nice way for just a layperson to know.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to make sure that it's digestible and to get the some of the important essentials, because we understand why it could be a 12-hour documentary. There's so much information, and no matter how much information like from our perspective, there's so much more information, within the categories, but we try to make sure that we can get it in within an hour and get some of the bullet points and all the beauty of it, because there's so much beauty and freedom in this art form we call jazz, and just want to share it with everyone, because why not? I mean, life can only get better. So
that's right. And I have to say that this program was originally created for kids, but I guess there's a child in every one of us, and jazz is very idealistic art form. We pursue it because we love it. And so we hope that this ignited something in you where you're excited, you're like a kid, you want to jump for joy when you listen to this music. And most of all, we hope that next year we can see you in person, and hopefully the Bahrain Jazz Festival will be in-person event with a beautiful outdoor stage like you have been doing it for a few years, and continue supporting the music, continue supporting the Bahrain Jazz Festival, and hope to see you one day soon.
Well, thanks. I mean, definitely, the whole COVID-19, like we were talking about earlier, has brought the whole world a bit more closer together. And it's, I guess, maybe in hindsight, when we were doing our outdoor festival about 2 years ago, we wouldn't have even thought of doing something like this. But
Sure.
I guess it just opens up more possibilities right now, and for sure the outdoor festival is the grand one, right? That we all run, well, at least up until 2019. So we hope to have you guys playing from flying down from the States to here, and we can do some cool shows, some cool swinging shows. Incidentally, we do have a small Lindy Hop dance community in Bahrain. They always show up at our jazz fest, and you can always see them in the videos that we run post the festival. So
That's
I guess they
beautiful.
would be the most excited, if you guys wouldn't come down.
Well, you have to be sure to let them know we say hello, and we look forward to meeting someday, and we all can jam together. So
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for your time. It was really an honor for us and a privilege to host you guys. Thanks for putting everything together in a fun way, and we hope to do more of this with you. So thank you once again, and see you on the other side.
thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.